My name is Emily and I studied history at undergraduate at Sheffield and then I stayed and did a master's in medieval history and I stayed on for that extra year simply because I didn't really know what to do and because I loved history and I wanted to do more of it. I kind of wanted to rule out that whole PhD option thing. So I did the master's, loved it, but realised at the end I was like, I need to get out of the whole academic world. I currently work for the Cathedral Archer Project, which is a homeless day centre in Sheffield city centre. So it's for homeless and vulnerable adults, open 5 days a week, providing hot breakfasts and lunches, one-on-one support and activities and a volunteer programme to help homeless adults move from a sleeping bag to a stable, enjoyable and fulfilling life. My job is within the marketing and development team, which is technically fundraising. So I look after everything digital. So I look after all of our social media channels, our website, our weekly e-shot that goes out to all of our supporters via email. I write that. I also look after all of our youth groups, so any students that want to get involved, whether fundraising or volunteering, youth groups, schools, I look after all of them and kind of manage them and how we can work with them in the future. Ideally there would be a typical day, so I write my to-do list every day and it always has check your emails and look after social media and then I have everything else underneath it, but that never really happens. So I can be doing anything from just sitting at my desk all day to actually someone rings up and they've brought a massive donation in that you weren't expecting, so you run over the road and you deal with them and you hand out food, and then I might have a meeting somewhere with a volunteering coordinator from one of the unis or with a youth group, or I might end up going to a school and giving an assembly talk. So there's no real typical day and every single day is different because of the nature of the job, because you can't predict whether somebody's going to ring up and be like, I really want to donate this today, or we've collected this at work and can we come down and meet you, and you just can't predict what's going to happen. I love my job and I love it because there's just no typical element to it, because it's just so varied and there's so many different things, and because I get to make the role myself. So I kind of rocked up on day one and was like, you're going to be in charge of the social media and you're going to be in charge of this from the first moment that I came through the door. But then after that, I was kind of left to do it myself. So I've taken our Facebook and our Instagram and our Twitter and I've done what I want to do with it. So I've made my own role and I've made it how I want it to work. And I have to tell my boss what I'm doing, but she doesn't really care as long as it's getting results and as long as the work is producing income for the charity. It doesn't really matter. So I love it because it's mine and I've made it what it is, and it's my role and my job, and I can suggest whatever I want and be like, can we do this or can we do this, and it can happen, and that's what's so exciting. So there are a few challenging aspects of my job. Working with the people we work with is a challenge, and helping them move on from whatever life problems they're having at a particular moment or wherever they're struggling and what they're struggling with. So you have relationships with individuals, and just because I'm fundraising doesn't mean I'm divorced from the actual people that we're helping. So that's one challenge, but then you never know what's going to happen. So I, at the moment, have a big general bid to write to trusts and foundations. And if I'm honest, I might have been putting it off because I don't know where to start, because it's a challenge for me. I've never done it before. And the whole trusts and foundations and applying for grants and big pots of money is a completely new thing, which is exciting because it means I can do something completely different, but at the same time it's a massive challenge that I've maybe been you put it at the bottom of your pile, don't you, when you don't want to do something. So, but it's getting there and it's really exciting. The skills you need to be a fundraiser are, you need to be positive, and you need to be happy and bubbly, and you need to be really energetic, because some days you're not going to have a great day, or you're not going to have a great month, or people might not want to donate to you, and it also depends on the charity. So homelessness is quite a hard one, and people might not necessarily want to donate to a charity that supports homeless people because of stereotypes surrounding them. So you have to have that energy and that positivity, try and get people to see that it is something, a worthwhile cause to support. So you have to have that, but you also have to take that initiative. Because I've made my own role, I've had to kind of take what I've been told to do and take it the next step and take that initiative and meet those deadlines that I've been given, and make my own deadlines and kind of make my own roles. You have to be super organised and kind of, but with a load of energy. It's kind of hard. You have to juggle this, like, you have to do this, this and this within a set period of time and not get stressed and just be really happy about it, because you're dealing with the public a lot of the time and they don't want to see you like stressed out about a talk that you're giving. You want to be like the nicest person in the world who they want to give money to. Since leaving university, I've kind of just walked straight into my job. So when I finished my undergraduate in 2016, I went into my master's because I didn't know what to do, and loved it. And then I kind of got to summer of my master's, when you kind of left to go write your dissertation, and I was like, I should probably think about a job. So I heard about the RISE internship scheme, and a couple of my friends had got jobs through it on the cohort before. So I was like, I could do this. So I had a look and Googled, and they brought up a load of roles literally when I was looking. And I saw this one and I was like, I could do that. So I came and had a meeting with my now boss and like chatted to her about it, decided I should apply, and then went through the written application, the video interview, the assessment centre, and then the final interview, all while somehow writing my dissertation. And then I got it, so I think I've been really lucky in that regard. But it was a decision that I came to because I knew what I wanted to do, because I'd done volunteering in the charity sector during my undergraduate. So it was kind of a decision that I knew I wanted to make after a lot of forethought, which is why I did the masters, so I made the right decision. So that's I see my masters as part of my career pathway, because I left it as like thinking time for me, which was really important, because then I made the right decision, because I love what I do. In the future, I see myself still in the charity sector, still fundraising, but I don't really have any fixed plans. I like the idea of just seeing how I go and seeing how I feel. But I like the third sector and I like the charity sector. And I really enjoy fundraising and working with so many different people, whether it's the people we see every day in the project that we help, or whether it's students or youth groups or corporates. I just love that varied, diverse set of people that I meet and the diversity of the job. So I can see myself staying in fundraising. Think about what you want to do would be my big piece of advice for students, because giving yourself the time to think about it and the time to plan will mean you make the right decision. Don't just panic and rush into a job when it comes around to graduation, because you won't be happy. Because I know some of my friends who did that, and then they finished that job and they ended up with working in a pub or in a bar or in a cafe because they didn't know what to do. So just don't, which isn't a bad thing, and they're giving themselves the time to think now. But maybe if you think while you're at university and use that space to do your thinking and to take part in lots of activities, and you'll make the right decision when you graduate, which is what I really, really, really helped me.